22 million Americans have admitted to using drugs or alcohol. But the brain does not fully develop until age 25. So the use of drugs and alcohol before that age and even after can cause very bad effects on the brain and brain development. So prior studies have shown that adolescents who use drugs and alcohol have a greater chance to have brain development issues and brain problems later in life. So whether it's an unborn child or an adolescent, the use or exposure of drugs and alcohol can cause very adverse effects on brain development. Brain development starts when you are a fetus. So whatever your mom is using, like whether it's drugs, alcohol, methamphetamine, whatever it is, can cause serious issues in the fetus as well. So methamphetamine can cause cognitive abilities, physical disabilities, and can even cause your mom to miscarriage when using methamphetamine. So the way it works is it affects the hippocampus for brain development issues. And it causes your acetylcholine, which is a chemical inside your forebrain, to fluctuate. And there's always a little acetylcholine in the brain, but when it fluctuates like that and it gets more dense, it causes brain issues. And oddly enough, the acetylcholine has a tendency to get more dense when females are using methamphetamine rather than males, so it can really affect the fetus if they're pregnant and using methamphetamine. So another key development age for brain development is your adolescent years and teenage years, and this is the most common for a for a person to start using cannabis or marijuana. And the use of cannabis and marijuana seems harmless to a lot of people, but it can actually cause a lot of long-term effects and damages the brain in different ways. And it even can lead to psychosis and schizophrenia. So what it does is endocannabinoid signaling happens in every adolescent, and it helps neural development. But when you use cannabis, it interrupts the endocannabinoid signaling, and it can cause, and use of it during adolescent years can cause serious cognitive learning issues in the brain. So 15% of cannabis users experience psychotic symptoms later on in life after they use cannabis. And also another study done showed that if you use cannabis when you're an adolescent, you have on average, you have 8 points lower in IQ when you're an adult compared to the control group. So it's just overall just really bad for the brain. And another commonly abused substance is when your use of adolescence or when you're a teenager is alcohol. And alcohol really, it impairs the brain, it kills brain cells, especially if you binge drink, which is really bad, and it is the most common type of drinking nowadays. And it really, really messes with brain development. So the effects of drugs on a human brain are becoming more clear to us with every new study and all the research being done. And if the number of drugs and alcohol users were to decrease, we would see better brain development in overall teenagers, babies even, and just overall you'd see better brain development, and it would be a totally possible thing to do. You just need to stop using drugs and alcohol.